Hiya, Jackie. Remember us from the Candy Club? Well, do you?
Sure he does.
Trust me, ladies. I wish I did. Oh, shit! Jackie, get down!
The 2007 game The Darkness had the feel of an adventure. Sure, you shot guns, but the action and the story merged into a creative whole that didn't really feel like most other games.
Come and get it.
The Darkness 2 is a lot of fun, but it doesn't have that spark of uniqueness. It's remarkably linear, and at 5 hours, it's remarkably short.
Embrace the darkness, Jackie. At last, I'm free! What the hell is that? See that? Holy shit!
So The Darkness 2 isn't special, but it is exciting. And for that, you can thank the 2 creepy demonic arms that sprout from your body. The right arm is for smashing. You can use it to bash enemies in street lamps. The left arm is for grabbing. You grab car doors and fling them at mobsters like murderous frisbees. Oh, and you can grab a cultist by each leg and tear him in half like a wishbone. A wishbone that screams. As you move towards The Darkness 2's conclusion, you see disgusting moves like that a lot, and they're pretty shocking for a while. You can practically hear vital organs rupture. To replenish health, you hold a button and your arms feed on nearby human hearts. The gross out factor does wear thin though. You can string together the same basic moves in succession over and over and not feel very challenged. In time, The Darkness 2 tries to amp up the difficulty. Some foes shine spotlights at you, which causes your demon arms to regress into you and fills your screen with blinding light. But generally, you can charge forward without worrying too often about dying on everything but the hardest difficulty. There is some sense of growth. You choose new skills as you go from a surprisingly extensive skill tree. You might unleash a swarm of insects or summon a mini black hole, which sucks in any nearby enemies. There's also your Darkling, a miniature gremlin that leaps on bad guys and pees on helpless corpses.
Here we are.
Combining these moves with standard guns can be a riot. Arms flying everywhere and enemies screaming in agony as you tear them in half. Still, some central aspects of the game's actions are pretty mundane. This sequel is as linear as games come, sending out dumb enemies and predictable patterns. The really sticky snap to aiming means you don't have to be very talented with a gun. If The Darkness was an action-adventure, then The Darkness 2 is an arcade shooter. Consider this. When you kill enemies, a pop-up appears announcing the name of the move. You should turn the pop-ups and the annoying tutorial reminders off if you want to be immersed in the setting.
The killing only made it stronger. Harder to control. Eventually, I found a way to bury it. But ever since, it's been trying to get back out. It calls itself The Darkness.
Once again, you play as Jackie Estacado, who is now the leader of the Franchetti crime family. The story gets off to an explosive start, and soon enough, The Darkness makes its dramatic entrance. What's the Darkness? It's a demonic presence that lives inside Jackie and is the source of those demon arms.
It was nothing.
It's clear from the start that The Darkness 2 is different from its predecessor. The sequel is heavily cel-shaded. If you were a fan of the original, the change might be jarring. But the new look is a good complement to a game that's more about shock than dread. The story puts Jackie in some horrific situations, but it earns the right to shock you because the story takes time to develop its characters. Eventually, things take a fascinating turn. You'll be asking what's real and what's not. And as unbelievable as all of it gets, the game's excellent ensemble cast sells each and every line of dialogue. Beyond the short campaign, you get Vendetta Mode, where you tackle a series of missions alone or with up to 3 others online. The Vendetta campaign is about 90 minutes long and has you controlling one of 4 different characters with different skills of their own. You'll need to crank up the difficulty level to the highest setting if you wish to be remotely challenged by the Vendettas, though. At least the final fight pits you against a cool-looking boss, which is a nice change from the boring teleporting ones in the main campaign. The Darkness 2's menacing story and brutal action are worth experiencing. Break the game down, however, and you notice that the shooter isn't that much different from others. Levels are linear and predictable, making for the usual shooting gallery setup. But while it may not be as interesting as the original, The Darkness 2 gushes enough blood to keep your thirst for action satisfied for as long as it lasts.
You must rise again!